to do with Keith Askins and this whole staff. And you're as bright and young as he is, he'll get an opportunity somewhere soon.
Well, that's one of the problems of success in the NBA is that people start peeling and chipping away at your dynasty and at your team. Now you're looking at what you were looking at before, were people who were literally on different floors of buildings looking on at this parade and looking down at this parade. Everyone has come out. If you have a place, if you have a spot here in downtown Miami, great along the street. But if not, you get in where you fit in many times. But you're looking live at some of the buses here, the double-decker buses making their way through the Brickell area of Miami. As they make their way through this 2.5-mile parade route and on back here to the American Airlines Arena. And that's our guy there, Chris Bosh, one of the more maligned players in the media there, holding the Larry O'Brien Trophy. Larry, back here in Miami for the second year in a row.
Will, what really does happen with the Larry O'Brien Trophy? They pass it around for a while?
Well, that will be set to the team organization. We'll have it on display, and we'll have it in their offices. And right now it's shared by the players, and they all get to hold it and take pictures of it. And trust me, they do, and they enjoy it. But eventually it'll become another big part of the Miami Heat, and it'll be their third. We showed the video earlier, Lauren, Dwayne Wade kissing each one and saying, "Oh, 6, I love you so much. 12, I love you. And 13, I love you." These are trophies that will always be part of this franchise. Again, no matter what happens, the Miami Heat 3-time champs, we may not see another one in this town for a while. We may see one next year. But you know one thing, they've got 3 that aren't going to go anywhere anytime soon.
Chris Bosh holding it up in the air to share with everyone. What a feeling today. And look at the fans on top of these actually the railroad crossing, the lights right in front of the Freedom Tower. We can see it from here. It crosses over Biscayne Bay. I don't know how those lucky folks got that perch.
May not be the smartest thing. Last year we talked about that. May not be the smartest thing to do because that right there, that could be a long fall down to the ground. Not very smart at all. But police are out here, they're watching and monitoring every single thing. But look at this guy here, make his way up there, climbing up there. That is not the safest thing, but clearly he wants a shot of the double-decker buses as they make their way down Biscayne Boulevard, which they haven't quite yet because they're still in the Brickell area.
It's just like the folks who came down here at 5 a.m. No people, so many diehard fans, they just don't want to take a chance. They'll do anything to see their Heat. It is like Calle Ocho out here along Biscayne Boulevard right now, right in front of American Airlines Arena. And the parade, as you see, looking live, it is all on Brickell Avenue still. It is about to make the turn. It has already just made that first turn. Now it is about to head up, and we can just begin to see it now. Past the Intercontinental Hotel, we see the first officers coming up, and soon this huge crowd gathered along Biscayne in front of the American Airlines Arena will be seeing their team.
Yeah, and I think the amazing thing about this too is you see all the players and the families and the fans, and I think credit to everyone involved in this process, Lori and Calvin, is that so far in the views we've had on video and the view we have here from our vantage point, very calm, very smooth, not many, you don't see any unruly people, any people jumping around everywhere, people waving, and again, look at the how slow this bus is moving now. Last year these buses were zooming by, and he made sure this year to make sure they would slow down, and that's why you get a look at Birdman. Hey, flap some wings, Birdman. There you get a look at that. Talking to fans, trying to get him started. I don't think he needs to wave his arms. The fancy Birdman, they do it themselves.
And he's so happy too, clearly, because this is his first one. Not to mention he had a few issues in Denver, but this is his first championship ring, but may not be his last.
And it's so great to see them just taking their time. So the Birdman, the other players, they can relish the fans, and the fans can relish them. No one wants to see Birdman leave.
No, they don't. And I think Pat Riley and his staff, as I mentioned earlier, I think they're going to do their best to try to keep that core. Pat Riley, if anything, is loyal almost even to a fault. In 06, when they won the title, he probably brought back too many guys to the 07 team that were aging, but he wanted to give them a fair chance to do it again. Considering this team certainly is not an old team, I think you'll see most of the faces of this team on next year's team to get a chance to go three-peat, as Riley, of course, coined back in his days in LA.
Let's check it out with Betty Davis, who is watching the parade right in front of her. Betty, can you see this?
I can see them. The Birdman just made his way past this crowd, and they erupted. What a moment we are having here as yet another double-decker bus is about to roll through. The smartphones are clicking, the cameras are rolling as
Betty just yet, so let's check in with Nikki Mohan. She might have a clear view view of Pat Riley in the very beginning of the parade. Nikki, take it away.
This is the moment we've all been waiting for. We see Pat Riley. I'm here with my kids. They have on their LeBron James jerseys. My new best friends here on the parade. There you can see the front of the big bus with Pat Riley in the front riding. What an amazing, amazing moment. I see Alonzo Mourning. I see a lot of people. This is the moment we have all been waiting for. Such an exciting time. Everyone here was chanting, "Let's go Heat, let's go Heat." We got a little tired because of the hot weather, but now we're ready to go again. What an amazing time. And you know, it's hard to be a reporter out here because you're a fan as well. And these are the true Miami fans. These are the fans that have been out here since 6 o'clock this morning to get their... There's Mrs. Riley. Such a part of this team for so many years. The team is a family. They are riding high on this day. I see Alonzo Mourning on his family. I see Tracy Mourning.
All right, Nikki, thanks a lot. We're looking also at Alonzo Mourning as well. And we can talk so much about Pat Riley. He has such a deep history in basketball in general, but also with the NBA as well. And, well, he knows a thing or two about not getting the proper credit as a coach when you have some magnificent players on your team. He had some guys who called their NBA team Showtime. Magic Johnson, James Worthy, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
This is great sports talk radio. You know, you always hear the debate about, you know, is it the coach, is it the players, how much credit does a coach deserve? Phil Jackson won a lot of championships in Chicago, and he won championships in LA. But he had guys like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Scottie Pippen, and Shaquille O'Neal. Pat Riley had Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, James Worthy, Shaquille O'Neal in 06. Now help put together this team. It goes hand in hand. You cannot win. Tell me one championship team for the last decade or 20 years that didn't have great players. The Spurs, Popovich is a great coach. Yeah, you had Tim Duncan, you had David Robinson. You have to have great players. Yes, the coach plays a vital role. We know that. But all the credit that goes to coaches is deserved when they do a great job shuffling guys around. But you can't just say, oh, it's only because he has great players. Because you have to have great players to win a championship.
And we'll talk about the age difference. I mean, Pat Riley was one of the oldest coaches in the NBA, wasn't he? And he grooms one of the youngest coaches ever.
We've said the story many times of Eric Spoelstra. It needs to be said again now that we've got a moment here as we watch this parade slow down a little bit. Eric Spoelstra started as the video coordinator. He would make Christmas videos. Dwayne Wade remembers him as the guy. And I remember that guy who made our Christmas videos. And all of a sudden he became, you know, assistant coach, and he became the guy, Eric Spoelstra, and really helped Dwayne develop a jump shot and work with him every day the way that David Fizdale does now all the time. And Spo worked his way to the top. And you know who saw it every step of the way was Pat Riley. So when he hired Eric Spoelstra, everybody said, huh? Are you crazy? The guy who used to be the video guy? Pat Riley said, no. The guy who's been under my wing and learning under me for the last decade. The guy that I've literally groomed for this job. That's who Eric Spoelstra is, and I'll show you why I have so much faith in him. And I think a couple NBA championships later and 3 NBA Finals appearances later, I think he's shown why Riley made the right choice.
And it says a lot about this classic organization when everyone in the media was coming down on Coach Spo saying, wait a minute, what are you doing? You aren't, doing, playing right. You aren't coaching the right way. You don't have the right schemes. This was last year. Then, of course, the bump. That was done by Dwayne Wade and LeBron. Look, I mean, everyone came down on them, but yet Pat Riley stayed with them.
He did, and I think something, too, as we saw the LeBron camp, and there's Dwayne Wade in his tank top with his kids out in front. Something about Spo is that I think other people don't see behind the scenes is that he gives this team a lot of leeway. Eric is not a guy who's always in the locker room and is always in his players' faces. He really gives them room. And you know, one thing that he didn't do in the second half of the season after that, and pretty much at all in the second half, is practice. He had very few practices the day after a game. He would give them a day off, and then that game day do shoot around. He really let the guys dictate when they need to rest. process. Some people will say, well, wait a minute, you're letting the inmates run the asylum, so to speak. You're letting them make the decisions. No, it was Spo trusting his players. He knows when they need to practice and they need to work and when they need to rest. And that balance and level of respect was always there with the players at Spoelstra.
You really see that on the court. You don't see Spo standing up, yelling, screaming, talking too much. You see that he trusts his players. You'll see LeBron giving him signals because LeBron's on the court and LeBron feels it and knows. And it does seem that Spo lets his big three